Starting 4 minutes late because I was on the phone having a great conversation. And then somebody was at the door, except it doesn't even matter. But here's the deal. I'm happy you're here. Thank you for being here. And we are going to do the Wild Card Friday. And so the idea with this is, so I don't always have to figure out what topic I'm going to talk about. I am doing a wild card, which means I do this in one of my books, and whatever page it lands on is what I'm going to riff on today. So if you're here and you want to have a say in what topics I talk about in the future, by all means, put a comment in there with any ideas. I'm always looking for ideas. This is going to last until the Ontario lockdown number 3 is gone. And the idea is ideas, inspiration, insight, whatever it may be. Thank you, Jen Nash, for the I look great. Well, actually, you said, oh, you did say great. I thought you said good, but yeah, I'm having fun. Okay, let's wild card. Are you ready? I'm going to choose this book because it's the one on my desk. Actually, this one's on my desk too. I'm going to go here. More choices in here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're going to stop there? No, we're not going to stop there because that one chapter is about my mom. And the last thing my mom said before I got on air was, don't talk about me today. So, wild card number 2. All right here. Oh, interesting. How badly do you want it? All right, let's see what this one's about. I should probably reread my book. All right. Jen, do you want to come on, by the way? You can come on interview style. All right, so what am I talking about here? How badly do you want it? My why is basic. Oh, it's about why. I'm like, I don't know what it's about. All right, it's about knowing your why, and are you going to go through the worst of it, the hard stuff, the roller coaster, the times when you want to quit, and the times you want to give up? Are you willing to stay the course? So I'm sure I have some sort of a framework in here about developing that. It's funny, right? Because the why, I think when we do this, it's always like we're thinking this big, huge thing, right? Like this, I want to change the world. I want to influence people. I mean, I know one of my reasons is on my big scale is because I truly believe that people are suffering and they don't need to be. That there are things going on in their lives where they don't really need to be as stressed as they are. And it breaks my heart when I see people who are, just underliving their potential and not leaning into their true brilliance because they're getting in their own way. But here's the funny thing, like that big vision and changing the world and helping people get out of the burnout and all of that is sometimes when you're just trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get enough business for this month or this year, or when COVID happened and all of my conferences that I was going to be speaking at were gone and the in-person teams. And actually one of the big contracts I had set, one of the companies was like, yeah, we're completely shutting down until COVID's over. Like, so boom, everything goes. And I don't know. And somebody else may have an idea on this, right? What their opinion, and you're welcome to come on air with me. I figured out that interview. So just send me a message on LinkedIn if you want to do that. Privately, I'll send you a link. But I'm not sure that why, that big why is really a why that drives in those times. I think the why that drives us in the crunch times is more sometimes maybe about survival. I don't know. Lori, thank you so much, saying, I love your energy and timing of these lift ups is spot on. Well, where I am, we are in full on lockdown. And so I knew that another lockdown, I needed to have something to do every day that was going to make me feel. So I'm so grateful that you are enjoying it and loving it. I'm going to bring up this chapter because I think there's probably more. It was several pages. So there's got to be something more that I said. Which page was it? Can you hear me now? Why couldn't it have been the chapter on forgiveness or something like that? Yeah, where is it? Oh, it was called How Badly Do You Want It? Which just feels like a really odd title to a chapter, but whatever. That's okay. You know what? Uh, okay, I love having. Okay. Oh, and my mom said I wasn't allowed to talk about her, but here's the opening line in this chapter. It says, a couple of times when I've been in the dip of an emotional roller coaster ride, my mom has asked me if I should give up my business and go get a regular job. She asks this for a reason. She knows that questioning my commitment reminds me how much I love helping people through my business and that I want to stay the course. This challenging question immediately shifts me from freeze or flight to fight, from poor me thinking to solution finding mode. My answer has never wavered. My response is absolutely not. Well, let's be honest. I don't think I'm hireable. I mean, what company would hire me? I'd be like, sorry, it's 3:15. I got to go inspire people, myself included. I'm teasing. I bet you there'd be a ton of companies that would want to hire me. I just probably wouldn't want to. I'm just too committed to doing what I do. So I guess that why does get you, right? That's what does it. But I don't know. I feel like the drive when we're in the crux and the building up is the why is not some big grandiose thing that so often is what we're looking for. See, as an employee, you may wish to throw in the towel or get another job. Sometimes that's the answer, but people are the same wherever you go. Oh, well, that's a good point. Pulled that one off of that chapter. Here's the thing. Because I think we think if I get rid of this relationship, if I move houses, if I move to another job, if I quit this job, suddenly I'm going to be happy. And that's going to fulfill the thing that is longing. And I actually don't think that's often the answer. I think we have to be able to be completely happy and in flow wherever we are and whatever the circumstances are that are around us. Right. And so the why, Simon Sinek says, start with why. I have such an admiration for him. I'm just not sure that in my world, a why that's articulated particularly drives me. Gosh, I might have to delete this live. Who else has an idea on that? Throw it in the chat box. Tell me what you're thinking. Like, does your why keep you front and center? Do you keep it going in the, is it what pushes you through? I guess it does, but I don't think it's that big why. I think it's that why, because the big goals to me feel too far away. They feel too far away that when you're in the dip of a roller coaster, when you're struggling, and like, especially from the place that I wrote this book, I was just trying to survive. Like, my why was a survival mechanism. It wasn't the grandiose, big, I want to change the world. Oh, and Jen's driving, or she'd comment. That's okay. She doesn't have to. I think she's on a road trip out west in the States, which is really cool. It's probably nicer there. Beautiful place. So drive carefully, and you're listening. And I know Greg is coming on, but he's also coming from the road, being out on the road. So I don't know. I think that there's a lot of hype around whys. You know what? I might want to think about this road warrior, or not the road warrior thing. Lori says I'm making sense. Thank goodness. So I was questioning it. In the heat of a challenge, though, need something immediate to grasp onto. Bingo. That's exactly it. It's like the vision, the big, what's driving you and what it compel, like the thing that is, when I see, me eventually, influencing whatever millions of people and having a book that when this is finally edited goes bestseller and, serves people and helps people get out of their stress vortex. I desperately want that for everybody, but like me going, okay, I'm going to have this done by the end of this, actually I told my friend last night by noon tomorrow. And then I wrote a whole other chapter. So it's not done, but doing that, there's got to be something in the interim. Greg says, I think it gets you up in the morning and provides context for what the fight is for. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, you know what? And if you're attached to the why and pushing it, but it makes sense. Suzanne says, why not? Why not? Was I making sense? I wonder if that's what she was talking about. Because I'm contradicting what so many people say, including the greats, which start with your why. And I just think, let me think more about this. I'm going back to the chapter. Let's see what else is in this little golden goose of a place here. Probably should have done it. Keeping why in mind helps with focus, I think. Okay, perfect. Helps with the focus. And you know what? You're right, because if you know where you're going, but see, I wouldn't even see the where you're going as a why. I would see that as a goal and a what, which I would chase. So I think the why is is the foundation of thinking why is that what important? Does that make sense? I think I've articulated it fine not. I'm an answer person, yes. Hence the why not? Why not? Love it. I should have probably just kept this page. Hold on. So this is the random thing. I'm not prepared for these as all, but at least the other ones, when I do them off the top, I know what the chapter was about. Whereas this one, I was like, that is a really funny title. How badly do you want it? Well, what is it? I'm asking. I might have, never mind. I'm not even going to say anything more on that. Okay, this is on LinkedIn. Okay. Okay. So listen, I'm going to read a few lines that I see out of here that are catching on. What's not comforting over the long haul is living most of your life being unhappy at work. We spend way too much time grinding away at our jobs to dislike doing it. There's so much potential in today's global economy to be your own boss, to find a new employer who respects employees. So please don't limit yourself to thinking that where you are is the only place you can be. Now, my corporate clients are not going to enjoy that comment, because really they bring me in to make people happy where they are, because I really think you can be. But I think that that's an important note to make. But really my why. Yeah, see, I gotta reread that chapter. Sorry, guys. All right, but it's creating great conversation. I think if anything, it can also be your moral compass, a gut check, if you will. In the times I've been most caught up in the weeds, I only had to decide if it aligns with my why or not. If yes, I keep moving forward. So Greg, you're someone who's keeping their why front and center. And whereas I'm someone who keeps my why as I think it's just so ingrained. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the push. Yeah. But I think if you're going to go on the entrepreneurial roller coaster, if you're going to go in the leadership roller coaster, you got to be willing to stay the course. And so I guess in many ways, this chapter really was about how badly do you want to stay the course? Because in the toughest of our times, in the times when the bank account's not there, if you're an entrepreneur and you go through ups and downs, if it's a time when, your clients, like you're just not seeing it, you got to have enough staying power, enough belief in yourself, which I guess also would tie to your why. Actually, no, it wouldn't necessarily, because you can have a belief or a non-belief in yourself, and you can have a why or not have a why. So two aren't related. Both together, though, I think are really important. I don't know. I think the whole start with why. Yeah. I don't know. If it makes it work, it works. I love it. But if you got to have the staying power, and then, of course, have the resilience and the grit to keep going in the midst of it. And so what I turn back to is, what do I want to achieve? As opposed to turning back to my why do I want to achieve it? Maybe I got to dig in on that. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, folks. Anyway, there's my chit chat for today. the inspiration, the lift up of sorts. That's the goal, is for all of us to be, just have a chance to reflect and be like, okay, we got this. Because I tell you, this whole lockdown thing is feeling like, the fact that I can't go into the United States is really starting to weigh on me. But the fact that I can't even go to a movie theater, maybe even a little more. Right. And so the day-to-day drive to serve, to offer value, I hope I'm offering value to people, right, is that maybe that is a why. You know what? I might have talked myself around in a great big circle. Should probably reread my own book. Normally, I, like you guys know, if you've seen this happen before, I go to wherever it is and it just, oh yeah, that one. But this was a funny one. Sorry. Thanks for being here. I'm grateful for you. I hope you are having a great week. And if it was a really shitty week and you're really stressed, I hope you know that next week may or may not be better. We don't know that. But that you can be okay in the midst of the chaos and the tough times and the difficulties. And, one thing you lose. Heck, I had a call today. And I was really excited about it. And she was really excited about it. And then she asked a question and I'm like, oh, well, and this was like a qualifier. So if you didn't have this, you weren't going to get to be a part of the program. Well, I don't have this. And you didn't ask me if I had that. And so I got X-nayed off the program, just like that, got put on and X-nayed off. And then went on a call and had an incredible call with someone else who was like, oh my gosh, let's do this. How can we do this? Where do we do this? What are the options? Let's go through the possibilities. And so I guess knowing your compass, knowing what you're aiming for. And like I said, I'm more driven towards the what than feeling compelled by the why. But I guess my what informs a why, which is, I believe people are suffering unnecessarily with destructive stress and that I can help them overcome it. That for me is there, but that's a what to me, not a why anyway. I don't know. But that foundation drives me so that I can go from a disappointing call onto a positive call and then pop onto LinkedIn or Lockdown Lift Up on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I don't know if I really gave you any true insights in this call, folks, but I am so happy you're here with me to share in a little laugh on a Friday afternoon before I shut down the computer. Well, I won't shut down the computer for the whole night because I'm going to finish this book. So you know what, actually, because I believe so much in deadlines and accountability, can I say that by Monday's Lockdown Lift Up, are you ready for this? Whoever's listening, if you're still listening, you're going to hold me accountable. By Monday's Lockdown Lift Up, this book will be completely finished in the last edit that I've decided to do, that I probably didn't need to do, but have chosen to do. And I'm really excited. And then we'll put it up for Amazon pre-sales. Okay. What am I reading? Oh, when I was reading from this book, the Married My Mom, Birthed the Dog book, How to Be Resilient When Life Sucks. And the new book is Take Back Your Weekends. And this is the one that I'm working on right now. The back door. I don't know what you're asking me, Jen. She's saying, what am I reading about the back door? Because somebody's there. I'm like, you're too far away to be knocking on my back door. That was what I was reading. Was out of this one. Yeah. And then, but this one, I want to edit it as well, because since I wrote this in 2017, there have been a few changes to my concepts. And this one is the one that's going to be released now. That is, what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm adding in coaching questions so that people can apply this content to their lives. I'm super excited about that. Oh, take back your weekends was the question answered. Like the title a lot. Oh yeah, isn't that fun? And it's a mini book. But the irony is that I wrote it on a weekend. I'm going to edit it on a weekend. So it's not about never working on a weekend, because some people love to work on weekends like me. I'll eat this up and I'll be so joyous to be able to do that. It's about having the choice to do the work in the amount of time that you're going to allot to your work, and having the freedom and the emotional capacity that you're not collapsing when you get to the weekend. You are resting and recharging when you get to the weekend. So stay tuned. It's the foundational thinking that will help you pull out of the cusp of burnout. No subtitle. I was advised by a marketing guy, take back your weekends is enough. If I was going to put a subtitle, it was going to be a better, less stressful way to do what you do. And I don't know, might add it back in. Let me know your thinking if it needs a subtitle or if it just needs the back. And look how thin it is. So it's going to be a bit thicker, but we are going to keep it this size because you know what? People want a fast read. Fast sweet power-packed punches. Okay, great to see you. And thank you for being here. And if a why drives you, articulate the why, have it front and center. Use it like Greg uses it so that it keeps you going every day. If you're more like me and a what drives you, and there's probably a foundational why underneath that, then lean into that. We get to all make up our own rules on how we choose to march through this life. Oh, I love it. Jen's asking how much is it? It will be $12.97 on Amazon. Lori, thank you. I will tell you all about when it's released next week. So you can, because now I'm going to have it completely ready to go and off to my designer to just add it. He's already got the thing designed. It's just a matter of changing, adding in those coaching questions and the cool stuff. So I'm really excited for everybody to read it too. And we'll ask each of you if you are open to promoting it and all of that when it comes out, to try to get the message out there. So on that note, I am going to sign off on 22 minutes of just riffing, because you know what? That's what we get to do on the Lockdown Lift Up. And I'm grateful for you. So I hope you have the absolute best weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday at 3:15 Eastern. And with that in mind, I will by then have that book done. So I'll be checking in on accountability. Okay, see ya.